Morning, y'all. Today's video is going to focus on whether or not I think the Spyderco Smock is the perfect EDC knife. And to start out with, I want to give you kind of the basics of what I think a good EDC knife is. EDC is obviously stands for everyday carry, something that you're willing to carry on a daily basis. And I'll kind of give you some of my philosophy around what makes a good everyday carry knife. The first thing is it sharp? For me, if a pocket knife can't shave your arm hair at any given moment, it is not sharp enough, okay? So that's the first thing. It's gotta stay razor sharp. You gotta be able to sharpen it up, strop it up so that you can use this knife and it stays razor sharp whenever you need it, okay? So that's number one for me. The second is I like a knife that's not huge, right? That I'm not gonna feel like it's taking up all of my pocket space. I'm not a big, what some call gearhead. I'm not carrying a bunch of stuff, but like in the summertime, if I'm wearing basketball shorts or sweat shorts or a bathing suit or whatever, I wanna be able to still carry a knife and not feel like it's weighing down my pocket. So to me, size is a big thing, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that. So the first thing I would say is it's gotta stay razor sharp all the time. It's gotta be able to shave hair all the time. The second is the size. The third is I use it all the time. I don't wanna feel that if I pull a knife out like in a grocery store to cut open a package or whatever, that sounds kind of weird, but if I open it up in front of others, I don't want it to be like imposing, right? I don't want it to seem like a scary knife. Because I do carry it all the time. I feel like it's very normal, but I can also see why some people would not like if you carried a knife all the time, right? So I want a knife that to me is a great function utility knife that doesn't seem intimidating to carry. So before I get into what I think about this knife, I'm gonna go over a little bit of the specs. This Spyderco Smock is made in Taiwan, and it is based off of Kevin Smock's custom SK23 design. It is CPM S30V steel. It does have a Wharncliffe blade, and it has a carbon fiber overlay over G10 handle. You can see with some holes. It does have a reversible pocket clip, okay, right or left, tip up carry. Overall length is 7.875 inches. With the blade length at, the whole blade length is 3.375 inches, but it has a cutting edge of 2.875 inches. So that kind of gives you an idea, right? It's almost like the whole length of my thumb is that cutting edge. It's got a button compression lock, so you can kind of see down in there, there's a piece of metal with a frame that's attached to this little button. You press it down, it compresses, and it's able to do. It is on a bearing system, it is a flipper, and it also does the little spider hole flip that everyone is familiar with. I will say right off the bat, it is unbelievably smooth. I've cleaned this twice since I've had it. I've had it for, I don't know, about 6 months now. All right, sorry about that. Got a couple of little kids, so they needed some breakfast. So here's what I think about it. And I can understand how this blade, some people I think will love it, this Wharncliffe style blade. I can also see how some might find it ugly. I personally love it. This knife I purchased for about 175 bucks, which is probably expensive to a lot of people, especially for an EDC type knife. I guess that all depends on how much money you make, but to me, I just love this knife. I mean, the blade is just absolutely perfect. The S30V is shaving sharp at all times for me. All I really even have to do is strop it up. The blade flips very smooth. You can see with the flipper, it is unbelievably smooth to open. It's also smooth to open when you flick it, but it doesn't feel loose, right? You can see it's just smooth. It's just premium quality knife. It's rock solid. You know, I have that pivot cranked down as hard as I can. And I'm a big guy, and I can crank that down, and it still is just so buttery smooth. And so to me, that is the best part about it. That bearing system is absolutely amazing. The S30B steel, to me, is amazing. The handles are smooth, but also have some texturing to them with the carbon fiber. So if you feel it, it doesn't feel like it's going to slip out of your hands, but it's also something that, you know, is not going to like rough up your hands, right? One of the big problems I see with textured handles is that where that pocket clip hits the handle, right? Because it's like really hard to get in and really hard to pull out, but it just doesn't have that. It has like the perfect amount of texturing and this smooth carbon fiber feel to it. I think it's a beautiful knife. And to me, right now, this is my go-to EDC. It is what I carry on me 95% of the time. I purchased this through Blade HQ. I think it's a great deal. If you want a high quality knife that is smooth, is sharp, it's got a great looking blade, and you're not really worried about opening it in front of people, it's a perfect EDC size, I say go with the Spyderco Smock. Thank you.